Hey guys, welcome back to my channel once again. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on this foundation look. When I'm breaking out, it does give me the full coverage that I want. It gives me a flawless finish without looking overdone. I will say though, just make sure your skincare routine is on point, because you don't want to have any kind of texture on the skin when you're putting foundation on, because it just makes everything look worse. For acne prone people, you're going to want to exfoliate with either like a exfoliating pad, but not beads, because they can irritate your skin further. And I would say just don't do anything harsh to your skin. If you have more of a problem with cystic acne, I would recommend going to your dermatologist and see what they say. Different acne medications work differently on different people, so I would say just kind of try different things until you find what is best for you. Me personally, I break out because, hormonal changes, or if I'm not drinking enough water, or if I'm not eating properly, if I'm eating properly, if I change my Clarisonic brush head. So it could be a lot of different things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's get right into it. Now, as you can see, I have some pretty bad breakouts around this area and also down here. I have some on this side as well, and the ones on my forehead are kind of clearing up now. So I always like to start off with a moisturizer. Right now I'm going to be using the Umbrian Clay Fresh Moisturizer, and this moisturizer is really good for breakout prone skin. It's oil free, so it's not going to clog my pores. Also, the clay in there is going to help kind of dry out any blemishes that I might have. Once I let that completely absorb, I always like to use a primer so my foundation stays on pretty well. You can use something like this, which is a calming primer by Cover FX. This primer is really good for calming down any redness or discoloration, or just any irritation, especially if you're sensitive due to acne. It's really gonna help kind of soothe the skin. Once the primer has dried down, I like to use a full coverage foundation. This one is the Becca Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream. Because you are using a full coverage foundation, it can tend to clog your pores a little bit more. But if you wash your face at nighttime, you should be fine. Just don't go to sleep with your makeup on. That's a big mistake. This foundation here is a little bit dark for me, so I'm going to be using about 1 pump of that. And I like to put it in the back of my hand here, like so. And then I'm going to use some of my Makeup Forever HD foundation mixed with that, and this one's in the shade 118, so this one is too light. I'm just gonna mix both of those. It's gonna give me like a shade that matches me a little bit more, and also it's gonna give me that coverage that I need. I'm just gonna kind of dot it all over like so, and then I'm going to grab the rest of the foundation that I have on my hand with this brush here. This one is the Sephora Collection number 53. This brush here gives really good coverage, so I'm just gonna go ahead and blend everything down. You can also do a green primer to kind of correct some of that redness. Once I have that, you can see I have pretty good coverage. I could probably add a little bit more coverage here, which I'm not gonna do because I already am happy with this. This is what I personally do, and it works for me. If you wanted to do a concealer, you would do it in this step. You're going to want to do a concealer that's pretty much the same shade of your foundation. You don't want to do a lighter concealer. The reason why is we don't want to highlight the blemish. We want to make it look like it's not there. And by putting a lighter concealer there, you're just making it stand out. So like I said, I don't really like to do that, but if you did, you would do it after your foundation. So I'm just going to be using my Hard Candy Glamouflage Concealer, and this I just like to use normally under my eyes. And I like to do a little bit on my chin. And I'm going to do a little bit on top of my lip, the sides of my mouth, and right here. And also I'm just going to do right here. Now, if you have a blemish that's not super pronounced, you can definitely still put your highlighting shade on top of it. But if it's like one that's really standing out like this one, I would stay away from that and not put any concealer on there. A full coverage foundation should do. So now I'm going to grab my same brush. I'm just going to blend out that concealer. And I'm just making sure to press, so that way I'm not really removing any of the product. Now what I like to do is set everything with a powder. I'm going to set it with this NARS powder in Beach. This is more of like a luminous finish, but you can definitely use a matte finish. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to go ahead and use it with a fluffier brush like this one, and I'm just going to kind of roll that like so. I don't know if you guys can see that. That is pretty much the coverage that I want, and also, it doesn't show any blemishes. You guys can see that. You can see still a little bit of the texture. I'm gonna go ahead and do everything else, and yeah. Also make sure you're washing your face every day, because you don't want any bacteria to accumulate and break you out more.